Hello everybody, Gerald Thompson here, international opera singer and voice teacher. In this video I'll be sharing with you 5 tips to improve your runs, riffs, and melismas. Whether you're an opera singer working on your coloratura technique, or just someone that's wanting to conquer that riff from your favorite pop singer's song. This video's for you. Let's go. Tip number 1, breath and legato. When we think about runs and melismas, we often think fast, accurate notes. But what we often forget is that the breath needs to be flowing constantly as we sing these notes. An exercise to get the breath flowing but moving quickly between notes would be a glissando or slide. We're going to do this on a 5th interval. And what we're doing by this is training the voice to move very quickly between notes without having the breath stop at any moment. Tip number 2, voiced consonants and alternating vowels. So now that we have the voice flowing with our glissando, we want to add notes to that. So we're going to start with a 5-note major scale. I'll be using the voiced consonant D with an A vowel afterwards. Da 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 da. By using a voiced consonant, I'm allowing the air to flow and the voice to vibrate throughout the exercise. I could also use a V, 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 or a B, bo, 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 bo. And as I said, alternating vowels. So if I wanted to do this 5-note scale using a D, but using all my vowels, E, A, A, O, U, I could do D, 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 da, da, do, 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 D, 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 da, da, do, do, do. Some of my favorite voiced consonants to use for this exercise would be D, B, V, M, and N. Tip number 3, dotted rhythms. Now that we've started using the 5-note scale, we want to see if we can get that moving a bit quicker. And an easy way to do that is to start using dotted rhythms to get the voice to turn over quickly. An exercise there would be dee 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 dee. So we're using the same voiced consonants with the vowels as we did before, but dotting the rhythm so that the second note is always a bit quicker than the first. Dee 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 dee. We can also change the dotted rhythm that the faster note is at the beginning. Dee 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 dee. Do 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 do. Vi 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 vi. This allows the voice to move quickly from one note to the other. And what it also does is it starts to bring in a stressed pattern in our singing. When we go dee 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 dee, we're stressing every other note without actually having to think about stressing those notes. Dee 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 dee. And using this stressed, unstressed feeling will actually help us later in moving more quickly through the notes. Tip number 4, using popular runs or scales to create exercises. In this section we'll be using different scales or exercises depending on what repertoire you want to sing, whether you're working on classical or more contemporary music. With everyone, we can first stick with our major scale, but instead of singing just 5 notes, we'll now sing 9 notes. Da 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 da. Or da 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 da. For more contemporary music, pop, jazz, gospel, we'll also need to incorporate the pentatonic scale. Now this uses 5 notes from the major scale, the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 5th, and 6th note. That sounds like this. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. So those are the scales that we'll need. But what are some exercises that we can incorporate those scales with? So we could start with the major scale, doing an exercise where we move back and forth throughout the voice and change the vowels again. For example, E, or dotted, E, Now, we're still stressing every other note at this moment. But what would happen if we start taking out a stress and we actually only stress every fifth note? So we sing 4 notes together. Or 8 notes together. The more that we take out the stress and let the breath flow over the notes, the quicker we'll be able to sing the notes. An exercise for working on more contemporary music might be again, if we wanted to make that a bit quicker. Here, I'm singing 3 notes together with a stress, but what would happen if I sing 6 notes together? Tip number 5, using dynamics and emotion to create musicality and phrasing. So if we go back to the 9-note exercise for our major scale, and we add in some dynamics with emotion, let's see what happens. So let's start a bit soft and do a crescendo to the top and then a decrescendo to the bottom, and we'll be happy. Or let's do a decrescendo at the top and be sad. Or we'll sing a 5-9-5 scale, and we'll do a crescendo to the top, decrescendo to the bottom, and as we do the crescendo, the feeling intensifies of anger. We'll do the same exercise again for the contemporary people, but this time we'll start loud with a decrescendo as we go up. We'll accent the top note when we repeat it, but then decrescendo on the way back down and accent the last note, and we'll do this with a feeling of sadness. We could do the exact same dynamics, but we'll be happy. If you would like a video where I show even more exercises using popular runs and riffs from classical and pop music, let me know and I'll make one in the future. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure and check out my other technique videos or singing videos. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Hope you have a wonderful time practicing. Tschüss!